Druid. It's a pretty bad matchup for Ramp Druid, and it really set the tone for the series.
All right, well, we're going to reset the score to 0-0. The winner of this will be your champion of the $3,000 and the BlizzCon qualifier seed, which, again, our hearts go out to RDU, because if he does win this, he can't even still go to BlizzCon despite having 3 or 4 seeds now. He's won Zotax. He's done well in offline tournaments and grabbing seeds there. And now he might even grab a seed here through HyperX. Maybe there's some way that Blizzard can change this in time. Because it'd be a travesty not to have someone like RDU be able to be represented with how many seeds he's gotten.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. What can you really do about it?
Sure. Now, Warrior vs. Warrior, Theude picks up an important card, Harrison Jones, to kind of take momentum. You can kind of even go back and think about how Harrison Jones was able to impact the previous Warrior vs. Warrior with RDU, and how he was able to take away a Death Spite, but more importantly, put a 5-3 on the board and start addressing other big threats and taking initiative. It's a nice little tempo swing in your favor, and also even net you a card, so it's not bad.
I'm going to be using Death Spite to take out this Acolyte here. Doesn't want to see too many draws from his opponent. I think you're happy to just draw one card, though. Gosh, Acolyte of Pain's a good card in this matchup, isn't it?
No, definitely. With how many low attack creatures there are with like Armor Smith and their own Acolyte and Unstable Ghoul, you usually can kind of proc 1 or 2 draws.
Oh, hey, look. The Death Spite.
Yeah, why not? Let's continue lock and load. And, you know, the matchup is playing a little bit more slowly despite the fact that they do have minions to play earlier on.
Yep. I'd like to see him develop his Death Spites here, honestly. I know you don't want to play too much into Harrison, but if it gets developed here, and then you're able to start making a push, like say you just start drawing the right combinations of minions as this game starts to pan out, you can get a pretty big development edge.
Yeah, but you know the saying, it's like Harrison Jones me once, shame on you. Harrison Jones me twice. God damn it, Blizzard, you know? I don't know. At this point, you're just thinking of some reason to blame someone else over the fact that you played the Harrison twice because it's so painful.
Look at this, he's even going to hold back. Big Papa Harrison.
Yeah, you know, that's 2 Acolytes shut down by Theude. And, you know, basically the Acolytes of Pain, excuse me, my brain is shutting down. The Acolytes of Pain just become 3-mana Loot Hoarders that do 1 damage. So, not the most effective, but still, RDU still has a really good quality hand.
Yep, speaking of Acolytes of Pain.
And getting value.
This is gonna be a few cards.
3 cards guaranteed, unless his opponent is still willing to execute, but I highly doubt that.
I'll take Execute. It's like a 3rd card. Wow.
Alright, well, it seems like we're in for quite an explosion.
I think this advantage has got to go to Theude at this point. This hand is so strong versus what's happening. It's got plays for days.
Well, Cairn is a nice way to start things off, but Theude does have a response immediately. I think those draws were very important. I'm trying to count to see if maybe Theude will overdraw, but I don't think so. I think RDU was also counting just in case. But he was on 8, so he wouldn't have. And now Theude can answer with his own Cairn.
Yeah. It's a pretty easy Faceless Manipulator, I think.
Okay.
I like that he's taking his time, though. You know, he's a couple spots he's perhaps played a bit quickly, and it's cost him some otherwise very strong decisions. So I like that he's slowing down.
All upon us.
Bring the pain.
Yeah, I think it's worth popping into the Bane, maybe, if you wanted to.
I was about to say I like attacking the Bane here. I think too.
Mm-hmm. Because then it makes it a little bit difficult if he wants to trade in. a little bit more difficult. I mean, it's not
dream
by any means the end of the world, but it seems like RDU is going to take this initiative, by the way, and get Ysera out onto the board, lowers opponent's armor, so that way he needs a lot more help if he wants to Shield Slam, which he just drew. And he gets Ysera Awakens, a card that can absolutely rock any matchup that fills the boards with minions.
Oh my gosh.
Sylvanas Shield Slam?
That's what I'm looking at. If he would attack this 1/1 into this Bane,
yes, you're
this
right.
would be a much better situation.
Was the 1 damage worth it? Not in this scenario, but of course it's not always as black and white as it makes it seem, because the hindsight for us is easily 20/20, and Theude does realize that as well. Alex Straza immediately getting picked up as a counterplay. It seems like Theude really does not feel threatened by Ysera. He didn't execute it the last time in the Warrior Mirror, and this time he's just looks like he's not even going to address it the turn she's out.
I don't mind pushing for damage here either. I think it's fine. It's a very different line that you could have taken the other way, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
All right.
Here we go.
The world is trembling, and let's see how RDU is able to respond to it. He's got, let's see.
There are so many different plays here.
Yeah.
Looks to me like a strong one. No, never mind. That'd be really bad. I forgot he was at 11 life. I was going to say
that Ysera Awakens.
Or he could play the Sylvanas and Ysera Awakens, and I was like, wait a minute. It's likely a bad idea.
Sludge Belcher off the top for RDU. That
Don't
gives
know
him
if
the
it's gonna play
availability
it,
to
though.
be a little defensive, but how much is he afraid of dying off the top? It's going to be a little tricky because Sludge Belcher does introduce 2 lives.
He's going for it. Say goodbye to Alex Straza.
Alright, what card does RDU pick up? Nightmare, which might give him ability to get some good trades with smaller minions. You know, say if Theude's not able... Oh, he looks like he has Black Knight, but say that that remaining ooze stayed alive, you can actually pick off some good minions with that plus buff.
I don't really see a play other than Black Knight here. This feels, again, he has played so well up to this point that now he's constantly having these swing turns when RDU's struggling to stabilize. He's even got Shield Slam on the Ysera now.
None shall pass.
Oh, you're right. I think I would actually be very surprised if he doesn't Shield Slam this Ysera or get rid of it somehow. She's still too much of a threat. And there it is. Going for pressure. And he doesn't have Grom, but he has Ragnaros, so he has ways to kind of push into damage for the following turns.
Yep. This is going to be a close one. I'm not sure what the best response here is.
Okay, how does RDU respond? He's got so many good cards in his hand. In fact, he's full.
I have no
But he's going to go for a Sylvanas play and the Ysera Awakens, and he steals the Bane. Okay, so he's going to weaken himself a little bit here.
Oh my gosh. Down to 11. Grom won't end it yet.
It's going to be still a little bit short, so I think he made this calculation knowing he can't die to Gromosh.
This is Ragnaros, and this is a Fiery War Axe, and that's bad news, I think, for RDU. This is a lot of damage that's going to be made. It's going to be pushing forward here. Oh my goodness. That Fiery War Axe is actually a really important draw.
Yup, because it adds 6 damage of burn through the course of 2 turns. And if he picks up Gromosh, it's a way to get 15 damage in case he bounces back with like Alex Straza. Say he's able to execute, and he bounces back with Alex Straza, then you still have a way to kill with Fiery War Axe. So that is a very important draw.
He wants the Ragnaros, I think, still to hit the Bane, though.
Yeah.
But definitely start making the push for damage. Down to 10.
Oh, it hits the Bane.
Wow.
RDU need something like Execute off the top here. Or his
What about-
own Ragnaros.
Oh, I don't know if that's the game you want to be playing right now, but
Oof.
he may not have an option.
Slam on the Ragnaros. Still looking for some way to kill it.
Well played.
Then you have Harrison Jones. Oh, he's going to go for the Ragnaros play because he has no other option. Oh, and it misses!
That's going to be game. There's so many ways to deal with it.
Yep, BGH to kill it off. You have...
It speaks a lot to his experience in this matchup, I think. Just because he knows how much of a threat Ysera is to his overall game plan, how much of a threat Ysera, or how much of an asset Ysera is to their opponents. But he's like almost recognizing that it's bait in this matchup, and as a result kind of leaving it there to do what it wants to do, and then trying to pick up the pieces later, which I think is actually a fantastic plan.
Yep, he disrespects Ysera. Doesn't really care much
The
for...
pleasure is mine.
I don't really know if it's disrespect. I think he just understands how... I think he understands the value of the card in the matchup.
I know, I'm just trying to hype it up as he doesn't really care about it. You know, RDU, he's not going to start on the coin, but he has Azure Drake, which is also an important card against these Warriors, if they don't have it. But another card that's kind of introduced a little sideshow to that is Death Bite, right? The Death Bite allows you to answer Azure Drake pretty effectively, card for card, or even more so, sorry, the fact that you can match it mana for mana. And so now we'll see if Theude can kind of stabilize enough to get a game plan going, because there are turns where late in the game, if Miracle can't kill the Warrior has dragged out the game enough where his burst can actually completely kill Miracle Rogue on the spot, because they're often using their own health as a resource in order to kill off some of these smaller minions.
Yep. Auctioneer, by the way, a really big pickup for RDU. He's already got preparation. What else can he find? Ooh, Eviscerate.
Hmm.
My eyes.
Yeah, I'm
Alright,
kind of
well, he's at the mercy.
I wonder why he didn't play this Earthring last turn. Because this just opens him up to a Cruel Taskmaster turn. No.
Back to work.
If he played it last turn, it would be the other way around.
Right. I don't know. Maybe he was trying to find a way into Deadly Poison, or maybe he just really wanted the Weapon Dagger again to be fresh because he has his Auctioneer. Who knows?
Bring the pain.
Definitely a possibility.
Either way, RDU is going to pay a little bit here because he can't do damage with that Martyr, but even more important, the Acolyte's drawing cards and being very effective.
9 cards in hand for Theude.
Beautiful start. Keep in mind that I don't think RDU is playing Assassin's Blade. We haven't seen it yet. And it makes me think that he's not playing it whatsoever, which also leads to the point where where's his damage going to come from? He's going to have to rely on cards like Shade of Naxxramas, his Van Cleef to do stuff, his smaller minions to pick off health. Otherwise, Warrior will gain too much.
Yeah, he's going to start picking off some health right here, by the way. These Azure Grapes. They're going to draw a card and deal 4 damage apiece, plus take up mana and use weapon swings. And Conceal has also been picked up. This is potentially a big couple of turns that are going to get put together. And he's not going to waste any time.
He's also got low tap to continue shut down his opponent, especially if you have Shadow Steps to pair together.
Wow.
RDU has
That's the Deadly
preparation. Picks up the Deadly Poison. Second preparation.
Second prep.
Wow. That is devastating for Theude as he gets to see his opponent draw, I don't know, 6 cards this turn? Looks like it. Where's the Epic Sax guy when you need him? Okay, RDU using the opportunity to put out damage now. I mean, he recognizes that late game he's going to struggle.
This is going to be a Lothep for sure. He really wants to shut down these draws.
Yeah, I can't see an alternative better play than low tub.
Yeah, he's going to take a lot of damage in the process, too. 4 more is going to cover across some Auctioneer. And then potentially more damage from whatever he plays. I imagine that RDU is going to respond with a Lothep of his own.
right, he's attacking with Death Bite.
I wonder why.
Is there a way to kind of... I don't see a way for him to push through this conceal and kill the Gadgetzan that we don't see.
There's definitely no way to do that. Yeah, you're going to want that Lotheb. Crafted a gold one for a reason. I'm with you there, Theude.
Like, this is what Lotheb was designed to do.
Sort of, yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is what Blizzard originally made it for. I mean, I could be wrong. And oftentimes that is the case, but I don't know in this scenario if Lotheb there's any better play than him to shut down a concealed Gadgetzan. Now there is ways for RD to deal with it, obviously. He can play his minions, he can use his Deadly Poison Dagger, and use SI7 to clean up while pressing for damage, which seems like exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, picking up SI7 agent was pretty important here.
Yep.
This guy's toast.
Otherwise it looks like he would have just done a simple Lotheb / Azure Drake kind of play back at him. And Theude is under big pressure. He's got so many cards, but how do you dish it out and survive? He's got to kill this Gadgetzan and take more damage. He has to use his executes, but he's still bleeding every single turn.
Not much of an option, honestly. He's got a second oxygen rating, by the way.
You know, I wonder if he wanted to utilize his Whirlwind like Armor Smith to gain life and play like a Sludge Belcher with that.
Certainly
In fact,
something
he
he's thinking about.
Oh, wow. I guess he didn't want to put his damage out, but he missed 2 lives. So I guess it's gaining life in other departments.
Yeah, the health on the minions is still going to have to be dealt with anyway, so it's kind of effectively the same thing.
Makes sense. So I guess it's all about how you want to do it. RDU has Lotheb in hand. And it just feels like a good way to kind of draw into it. Like, Lotheb to answer a Sludge Belcher is usually really good. Especially if they have to Lotheb, or they have to Sludge Belcher into it. How does RDU kind of go about this, though? Let's see.
I wonder
He's got
what the
enough
best way
to
to do this
Azure
is.
Drake. He's got enough to Azure Drake backstab and Deadly Poison and push through. Or even Fan of Knives. Van Cleef comes here now. Okay.
So he's going to be going for the backstab fan if he does that. Oh, look at this.
Yeah. Backstab on the Armor Smith. Allow your opponent to gain a few armor, trade it in. Still just needs to get closer to Leroy eventually, because as much as he's doing a good job just controlling the state of the board from Theude, still needs a little bit more juice to finish off this game and even the series.
Theude doesn't need that much. He's kind of starting to hit a curve in the same way. Like if he gets past the next couple of minions, he's going to be in really good shape. The issue is whether or not he can get past these next couple of minions.
Yeah, that's a big if. That's a huge if I can borrow a word from your vocabulary. I think Theude, wow, he's hovering over Gomash to kind of remove this. He doesn't want to pay any more life.
What now?
I mean, I can understand that.
I can wait to taste my blade.
You feel a little bit desperate because of what your opponent can do with Leroy Shadow Steps. That's 5 health, by the way, so RDU can kill it off with Eviscerates and Blade Flurry.
Yep. It's kind of a good thing, though. I think
Blade Flurry, Eviscerate.
I think Theude wants him to invest damage into his minions right now. His idea, I think, is to stabilize after that's happened.
The problem is, if you want to do all these things, it's a little bit too expensive to toss down Gadgetzan with it to continue to chain draw.
So many options.
And you do need to kill off this Gromosh. It's a high priority for sure. You don't want him to faceless it and then potentially lethal you next turn.
Right.
Low tab. So he's gonna.
This is interesting.
Oh my.
He's just gonna take the damage from Grommash? What the heck?
Looks like it. RDU wants to go for potential lethal
Wow.
play, probably says it. But how? What does this say to your opponent? I'm not afraid. If it was faceless death bite, this game's over. Or faceless.
This is actually.
fireworks.
You know, it's funny you mentioned, like, what does this say to my opponent? This is a pretty tough spot if you're a Theude, because this really looks like his hand range has Leroy and Shadow Step in it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This
you're
is kind
very
of
concerned
affronting
about
as
that
if
right
you
now.
have lethal anyways.
Yeah. This is like one of the few. This is like. I feel like this is an unintended bluff from RDU, but it's like it's a pretty big bluff nonetheless. You got to be worried about it. I don't know if Theude's gonna. If he has even a reasonable way to play around it, I think he's just going to go for the win.
All right. Well, it's going to come down to some of the fireworks here.
Oh my!
But it could backfire like crazy for both players. It's two big risks back to back. And I think it just started because RDU took a big risk. So Theude has to take a big risk.
That's exactly what it is. Wait!
Whoa, he's playing so safe.
Okay, just an 8-8 and kind of go from there.
Okay, and RDU, that buys him time. He paid 7 life, so that way he can get his gadgets and trains going.
Yeah, I think that being safe is probably better there. I'm trying to think of, like, just Leroy Shadow Step would kill you, and that's
right.
Fine. Like, he has 20 damage, so it makes a lot of sense to make a safe play. He's gonna need something to get out of this, though. Acolyte of Pain's not it. Cool Taskmaster would have been okay.
Something to kind of proc and execute. And both cards out there on the field do represent threats. Alright. Theude picks up Fiery Vorax.
It's definitely not what he wants right now.
Yeah. Needs something like his Whirlwind to kind of pick things off with the execute.
Yep, this Van Cleef is going to get some pretty big damage in.
Yep. He's going to call people some names. Whether he means it or not is up for conjecture. But he's still going to be a little bit of a rough patch for Theude. So he's going to be sitting on around... Oh, okay.
Look at this!
That's cool.
Fiery Rex was really good. I lied.
Hey. We forget that all the time.
Yeah, it's funny that we mentioned it. I mentioned it earlier in the tournament. It's like to do this exact same thing, and then I forgot about it right now.
Would have missed lethal because he didn't see the weapon proc in the previous bats, and it's funny that he's learning from his mistakes now. Leroy Shadow Step off the top for RDU, and he's setting up for a way to win. He's a little bit short at the moment, but next turn he'll have it. Theude needs something like Sludge Belcher off the top.
Ooh, Unstable Bull's not bad. That's gonna force something out. Wow, actually, he might still be dead through this.
Yeah, you know, if he armors up, he's at 15, right?
12.
15.
Yeah, 15
I might
16.
count as exactly how he's gonna have.
I see 16 damage. 3 from Blade Flurry, 12 from... Oh, I think this is it.
Unless Theude, he can't really do anything, right? He can't draw something off his Acolyte. He can... I mean, either way, he's at 15 life if he armors up and uses...
Oh, a second Shadow Step. And that's going to be GG. RDU's going to take game 2.
Well played.
And tie this series up again. Wow.
Yeah, nicely done. And you know what? He's got him covered a few times over, but I think RDU was able to position himself really good. I really like that play, because you know, setting up that low Theb to make a really aggressive front, like a lot of people wouldn't do that. And I've seen RDU so many times put his Leroy and his minions as Miracle Rogue in a position to be very aggressive and successful, although it is a big risk inherently, and it pays off for him.
And then bothered to not kill it. It's a scary sight to see. You're almost always going to play defensively.
Yeah, your mind's racing 1,000,000 miles per second there of what your opponent can have. Game number 3 has begun. RDU is on the coin. He's thinking about whether or not he can keep Leroy as a win condition in the early turns or toss it away, but I think you want Leroy a little bit later. You want to deal with the early threats as much as possible, like Twilight Drake. Theude once again drawing Jiraxis, which might not become a factor whatsoever. Especially not against Miracle and its bursts.
Yep. Another
So that's
auctioneer
a
at the
dead
end
card
for
for Theude, effectively.
RDU has been drawing these key cards every single matchup.
Mm-hmm. All right. Theude does have, again, the Twilight Drake, which is good, but he wants more follow-up beyond that. Because his hand looks slow other than that.
Shade of Nexramus. Oh, there's a Mountain Giant.
There we go. Starting to look more promising for Theude by the draw.
Starting to look a little bit more like a hand luck.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's a good look for him. Slam Mountain Giant or do you slam Twilight Drake? I think it's Twilight Drake.
I always like the more health option against Miracle Rogue.
Yep.
Force a little bit more out of him. He needs a very specific set of cards.
Yeah, we've been seeing players fail in this situation over and over again where the pressure is just too much to overcome. You know, it's funny that you mentioned where Shadow Bolt's good, and you said it might be good against Miracle. I think it's looking really great in this matchup right now.
Oh man, you're right, because the Shadow Axe Rammus just gets blown out no matter what. What does he have target there? Sap. And you hate to use Sap this early, because you know Sap is also your fail-safe options if you get your put into a low-up position where they have taunted creatures up and you need to bypass it. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
You still go for Twilight Drake here?
I think so.
Yep.
Well, I mean, what does that show you? The fact that he saps and he doesn't do anything else to improve his position?
Agreed. I think it does look a little bit desperate. 4-10. It just got bigger this time.
Yeah,
delay.
Effectively gained 1 health.
You're not going to be able to procrastinate against these Twilight Drakes forever. Both of them's a pretty strong one. It's going to stick to the board.
Yep, and denies like a Shadow Flame play.
Defender of Argus, though. This is starting to look a little bit grim for RDU.
Yeah, how do you kind of fight against these things? He needs something big from his Gadget's hands, but he's already used 1 sap pretty early.
5-11 Twilight Drake is pretty big.
My shield for Argus.
Oh my god, at least it's not 11-11.
Back in the old days.
Yep. Twilight Drake used to get +1/+1 for each card instead of +1 health.
I got the best
Used to be a 1-1.
anywhere.
That was crazy. Gadget's and Auctioneer will start the draws with backstabs, preparations, and Fan of Knives. Let's see what he's able to continue to do off of this.
Now, Shaded Nexramus pulling a lot of weight here, by the way.
Yeah, it's gonna grow to be like a giant killer, or even more. It's basically a stealth Van Cleef after next turn.
Look at the collection RDU's putting together. This is a lot of damage already.
Yep. I think he's gonna go for more cards rather than trying to swing for the fences and get another prepreparation here. And I think that's the right call.
Do you attack with a Shade, right? Yeah. This is almost why Shade was in here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like. And as you were talking about, it's a solid Shadow Bolt turn.
There we go.
Look at that.
And you know what? This tech is really important because I'm trying to think of where Shadow Bolt's replacing. And I don't know if it's a Mortal Coil or not, but normally it would be these other spells which have much less impact in the mirror. Or it's I keep saying mirrors at a matchup because we've been seeing so many mirrors with like Warrior vs. Warrior, Priest vs. Priest.
Yeah.
It definitely shores up this matchup a lot more, and I feel like it doesn't weaken your other ones that much. Like, I don't really feel like the Shadow Bolt takes away too much from its other matches versus, like, Priests and versus Warrior that you normally see.
Still be interested to see what he cut. RDU, meanwhile, he picks up a second Gadget and Auctioneer. Pretty big draw.
There you go. He's got spell power, too, with this Thaunos to try and add a little bit more damage. It's unfortunate that it doesn't look like he has a way to kill off this Giant for now, but at least he's put out some good damage on it this turn.
He's taking some damage in the meantime. Ooh. 10. It's 8. That's 16 points of damage right there. I imagine that Earthen Ring Farseer is going to be healing up this Mountain Giant. At least one of them will, anyway. I think a really strong play here is just to heal your Mountain Giant, heal yourself, silence the Blood Mage, and just attack his face. You're looking at lethal very shortly after that.
Yep, you have Leroy. And Power Overwhelming from 10 damage from the hand.
You just saw Blade Flurry too, so you're really comfortable about it.
I mean, let's see. He's not in danger of lethal, right? Unless his opponent has preparation into some other spell. RDU, by the way, does have double Shadow Step Leroy, so he's got 18.
Yep. He would need
in
double
fact,
Shadow Step.
wait. If he heals the Mountain Giant and he doesn't heal himself, and he goes for this play and he leaves the Thaunos up, he's dead.
Oh yeah,
he needs to heal himself.
Yeah, RDU's got 20 points of damage next turn. Leroy double Shadow Step is 8 mana for 18 damage, and then the 1 point from Blood Mage and 1 point from the dagger.
Most people, oh no.
Well, he's got 2 Earthen Ring Farseers, so one should be healing the Giant. I agree with that, but now one should be healing yourself. And he's gonna owl. Yeah, this is the. I think this is the exact same play. Oh, but he didn't play around Betrayal. This is a disaster.
Uh-oh. That is dead Farseer. Okay, RDU doesn't have the damage again. He's 3 short.
He needs something right now off this Drake. When I say right now, I'm talking like needs to be sap right now.
Second sap.
Eviscerate.
Eviscerate.
That's not going to be enough though.
Oh, the lack of spell power.
He's got 5 damage onto the Mountain Giant. That silence on that Blood Mage being extremely crucial right now. He's going to try to make the most of this while he can. This Eviscerate's going to be hitting one of these 3/3s. But that's not going to be enough. I think this is game over. I think Theude's going to take game 3 and take a 2-1 lead in this series.
That's right. And RDU will have to go to his own handlock in order to climb back and win this series. Theude is 1 game away from securing the championship. As Leroy will carry the victory all the way home.
Well played.
Indeed.
Let's do this.
And that's
all right.
GG.
Here we go. Now, RDU does not want to drop here. You know, he was very disappointed in his finals appearance in the previous Well Played Cup. And, you know, he dropped 1-4 to Tides, and that's... Well, I'm stumbling over
you and I have come through.
It's been... I'm stumbling over
17 hours of commentary. Non-stop. Talking about the same thing over and over again. You think we sound stupid, you try talking for 17 hours. This is a big matchup too, by the way. This is something I talked about in the last matchup. I also want to go back also, Theude really recognized the peril that RDU is in when he saw that sap early and did a great job applying pressure and starting to close out the game. At every single opportunity, he saw a point that he could strike. Going into this matchup, these are 2 very different handlock builds. It's only a couple cards difference, but that is a world of difference. Wait a minute, is he running Shadow Bolt over Shadow Flame?
No,
is that the card we haven't seen?
No, we've seen Shadow Flame for sure.
Have we seen Mortal Coil? What haven't we seen from his handlock deck?
He also has Jiraxis too, and Ragnaros. So
well, he has Ragnaros. Both of these guys have Ragnaros now. This seems to be something that they're in agreement on, and I can't disagree. But 2 copies of Shadow Bolt and a copy of Jiraxis is way out of the norm for at least what I'm used to seeing. It feels to me. Well, it feels to me like you kind of hit the nail on the head. He's targeting things like Rogue when he chooses to play Shadow Bolts, because it made a big difference in that last game.
All right, Theude He has Mountain Giant, and that's a great answer if your opponent can't deal with it immediately. And yeah, it did make a big impact. I mean, maybe it won't do anything here in the mirror because a lot of things have high health in this matchup. RDU, by the way, does have a way to deal with this with Shadow Flame. Very nice. And just kill the board early. Do not give your opponent any opportunity to continue to stack his advantage.
2 for 2. If he wants a life tap here, he's going to have to use an owl or use the coin. He's going to have to get rid of something if he wants to life tap is the point. And I can tell you right now when you're looking at that hand, you want to life tap. You've already seen one Twilight drip down. How important is this second owl?
Many possibilities.
Ooh, Ancient Watcher.
Ancient Watcher is decent, though. A good
You know what?
life
Ancient
tap.
Watcher, if you silence the Ancient Watcher with an owl, you get Shadow Bolt. That takes care of a giant.
There you go.
Oh, we haven't seen Hellfire, have we? Have we? What is missing? I can't wait to see this.
I feel like maybe he scaled back one thing. Like maybe he's playing like one Mortal Coil and like one Owl, you know, and then just like these little small cuts here and there allows him to slide in 2 cards, similar to that how Argent Commander fit into Voshsama's Druid deck. It's a possibility for sure. Meanwhile, Theude is going to use this opportunity to activate his Watchers and start pushing for a little bit of more board presence, but it does play directly into Hellfire, which is exactly what RDU is capable of.
Yep. So again, this is going to be another big swing in RDU's favor. He's been responding to the board really well. Now finally he gets to put down a little bit of pressure, Ancient Watcher or Life Tap. I kind of like developing the Ancient Watcher, but again, you're looking at that hand and you really want to Life Tap.
Nice. Well, he lands into a Mountain Giant, so that's a threat that he can play next turn, and he still can Ancient Watcher the following turn anyways.
This is another tough turn, I think, for Theude.
White Ragnaros to put him within Molten Giant range? I don't know about that.
Well, mind you, he's got Siphon Soul and he's got 2 Shadow Bolts to respond to those Molten Giants, and he's also got a Leroy Jenkins. So he's threatening lethal very quickly when he slams this Ragnaros down.
There's only so much you can threaten, though, before you actually have to kind of follow it up. Because then what if you bite off more than you can chew? He has double Molten. He Siphon Souls. You know, and then you only can deal with 1 giant at a time.
It's a lot of cards for your opponent to have.
That is true. I guess it's about whether or not you're calculating these percentages and you're comfortable with them. How many cards your opponent's drawn, and if you're comfortable being able to drop Ragnaros in confidence. I'm sure a lot of people onlooking wants him to drop this Ragnaros, of course. But we know that it could end up in disaster. RDU has no Molten Giants. So
I want him to drop the Ragnaros. I don't know your time. I think it's a great play here. Oh, have we seen Soulfires from Theude? What haven't we seen? I'm so curious.
No, come on. No Soulfires in the hand.
I want to see the deck list so bad.
All right, Faceless is available for RDU.
That's what I want to know.
All right, and he does have a Siphon Soul.
There's so many plays here. He is really worried about his own life total, too. I can tell you that.
Yep. Absolutely.
I wonder.
And you can't have the best of both worlds, unfortunately. There's no way to effectively rag while improving your own board position that dramatically.
This is a super crucial turn for RDU, too, because if he loses this game, that's it. The tournament's over.
That's right.
Oh, my gosh.
You said Faceless. He may have learned from Amaz where he lost like this at IEM Shenzhen, but he's going to put his faith in Ragnaros and taunt it up. And for better or for worse, this could be for the tournament play.
Oh my gosh!
He's the land! No, it misses! That is a disaster for him. Theude, what can he do in response? Does he have anything immediately?
Well, he's got Siphon Soul.
Shadow Bolt, Siphon Soul, all cost the same mana.
Does he taunt up his own Ragnaros now?
Oh, man.
So much. What can he life tap into?
I don't know. I think he's taking the safer approach. You know, his opponent looks like on paper, it looks like RDU doesn't have a better way to deal with Ragnaros. So maybe he can take to press his advantage by using Siphon Soul. RDU needs this to hit something like the Sun Fury Protector, because then he loses too much life, and Leroy is just finishing the game. Although he does have a Defender of Argus, though, so I guess he could put up a wall. It's not over yet.
Oh my gosh!
He's running out of time. He needs to kind of go.
Yo, what about this? What about Shadow Bolt?
Wait,
Oh,
Soulfire, Soulfire. He can go for the 50-50 coin flip. Is this the moment where Theude can set up for potential lethal? He's going to go
He's
for it.
going for it!
The rope is over. The moment. Is this the moment where we see a new champion?
No!
Not yet.
Oh my.
A heart palpitating moment for RDU, but he's still alive. He draws Molten Giant.
He's at 6 too. He's got to make something happen.
He can't Molten Giant and taunt up while using Siphon Soul. He's 1 mana short from doing everything he could possibly want in this turn.
This is insane.
This is devastating because, you know, he thinks that if he doesn't taunt up, he's dead. Of course, Theude still needs a little bit more. Siphon Soul will bring it up to 9 health, so he needs a little extra juice. Power Overwhelming, Faceless. Soulfire, number 2. That would allow it to end the game. Unless RDU decides to miraculously leave Ragnaros on the board, which I can't imagine is the right play here.
Yep. I think you just got to go for it, brother.
Or is he? Oh, he's going to try to leave it up to chance. Oh, this is so tough. He hovered over for a second. What if I go for a Defender of Argus play? Then I have a 50-50 chance of him landing on a bad target, or actually 75 because you don't care about Defender of Argus.
Oh, man.
And RDU's going to leave it up to it. It's going to come down on top deck. If Theude can get a little bit more damage, still has a chance to life tap here. He has to be careful, though, because he has to be mindful. He might also get lethal on the opposite end. This is so tense.
This is looking to me like it's turned into a double Shadow Bolt turn.
Yeah, I think that's your nuke option in case anything goes wrong. But you life tap here for a power overwhelming. Faceless is out of the question. Theude, what are you going to do? Lotheb is not lethal. Shadow Bolts on the Molten Giant seems like what's going to come to. This gives a small window of opportunity for RDU because now he can play Mountain Giant and Defender of Argus.
Yeah, this is the recovery turn.
This is quite the game we have in our hands, Nathan. I'm at the edge of my seat.
I have chills right now. This is crazy.
Whoa.
I have, like, mega nerd chills.
All right, RDU, back over to you. Second Molten Giant.
Oh my gosh. Theude needs a Shadow Flame, and he needs it right about now.
Second Shadow Flame would be pretty much a seal on it, unless RDU is able to gather some damage.
The Giants are going to be 9/9s.
Yep.
Shadow Flame wouldn't even be enough.
You're right, because it's 8 damage on the Giant, so he can't do it. He needs a little bit more.
He needs to drop Twisting Nether.
For Argus.
Haha, Twisting Nether off the top. RDU is going to play around Black Knight as well.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to activate the Watcher. Nope, just kidding. He's not playing around Black Knight. He's activating the Watcher because otherwise it'd be useless.
Soul.
Siphon Soul off the top. What is this game? How much damage does RDU have right now on the board? 19. He needs to kill us off. So Twilight Drake Siphon Soul brings up to 19 himself, and there's 10 damage up. So Leroy draw for RDU will be lethal, at least if Theude goes for the Siphon Soul play, which I can't imagine it's anything else.
Oh my gosh, he's got the Owl too. Wait a minute, so 8, 9, 10, 4 from the Watcher when he signs with the Owl, 14 damage? Is that right? 10, 14... Wait, is this 18 damage? Oh my gosh, he's going to go to 19! And RDU's got 18 damage!
So he's 1 damage short right now?
Oh my gosh. What is he going to draw? Lotheb.
Is he tap for it? I think he feels comfortable enough tapping, right? Because he has... Oh, he even used... Oh, it's tricky because as much as you can use the Ironbeak Owl to silence and draw a card, You're also getting an opportunity to end the game with damage. This is making Leroy the opportunity to win the game, but he's going to keep up his taunt. It's the safer play. Power overwhelming! 8 plus 8 is 16. 18 again! He needed to silence and tap. That was his combination to win. But he's going to play Loteb. And Loteb might accomplish the same thing anyways, because guess what? Toy's at 19 health. His Molten Giant costs way too much. Way too much.
Just leaves him at 19. That's a beautiful play. Attacking here would have enabled Molten Giants and allowed him to taunt up, and instead he's prevented that. And that's it. This is going to game 5 now. Theude has no way to get out of this situation. This is way too much damage to be staring down.
Yeah, no matter what you taunt up, there's just nothing. You're not even afraid of spells with Loteb. You're just afraid of raw creature damage. Wait, hold on. Wait. If he taunts up Loteb, he can't play Soulfire and Power Overwhelming.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
We're calling it early again by accident. And now this game continues. Mountain Giant off the top.
Are we sure there's not lethal here? Let's just count this before we look like idiots.
So you use Power Overwhelming to push through one thing. You have 13, 15.
15 damage,
plus,
yep.
Yep, 15 damage.
Just short.
I wonder.
I don't think there's a better way to use it. I'm a little curious why he's using the Defender of Argus and not the Iron Beak Owl, but whatever.
So, he's excited right now is why. That's 100% the reason.
I guess he wanted to see his Defender Argus live a little bit longer. Or he's big into ornithology, I don't know.
I think you attack here. You got the Siphon Soul, your opponent just used one of their taunts. I think you're in the clear.
He restrains. Shadow Flame off the top, but Theude is at 17, and his restraint has paid off. RDU has given his opponent a small window to strike back, but he doesn't have enough mana.
Wow.
A Leroy Shadow Flame only kills off 3 of his minions. Molten Giant still stays alive.
Wait a minute. If he plays Leroy Shadow Flame, that's going to put RDU at 3, and then Jaraxxus the next turn could be lethal.
But he can't. How does he push through the taunt? The Ancient Watcher still sits there as a big fat
Oh, you're
wall.
right. You can't attack for 6. Duh.
Faceless Manipulator. I don't know what it does right here. Leroy Shadowflame seems to be the play. You got to minimize as much damage as possible.
Gosh. I'm getting too excited now. I can't even see straight.
I know the feeling, man. It seems like we have 12 damage. Leroy off the top for RDU will end it. He's been waiting so long, but it hasn't come yet. But at least he knows. At least he knows his opponent is out of burst damage with Leroy, so the only way he can win now is through some other magical. He's got 7 damage. Theude has 7 damage, but he can put out Jaraxxus and heal back up to 15 and taunt up. No, he can't. He doesn't have enough mana. I'm counting to 11.
Yeah. Looks like
He
it's
can
going to be a faceless
Soulfire.
turn.
You like a faceless here? You don't like playing Jaraxxus healing up to 15 and soul firing?
Well, Molten Giant. Oh, you could heal to 15. Oh my gosh. I like Molten Giant, Faceless, and Taunt him, I think. And then Soulfire the Molten Giant afterwards, depending on what he draws.
All right. Well, he's
Or
going to
make
go for
Farseer.
it. Farseer allows him to heal up.
God, you're so vulnerable to Shadow Flame if you commit too much, though. I think you want your opponent to Shadow Flame in this position, though.
I don't know if you want your opponent to do anything to you. I think you're okay with your opponent staying right where he is.
He needs to discard this Earthen Ring Farseer
Yeah,
to
he
Soulfire.
loses Jaraxxus. He loses his last chance if this goes wrong. The 50-50 loses Jaraxxus. He is all in, and RDU will be able to clear it. And Leroy has made an appearance.
That's lethal.
game. He has it! Leroy has done it! He showed up! RDU goes to game number 5, tying up the series. And we are going to have a final deciding game.
A big hello to Mom at the end of the game. This game has seriously been absolutely crazy. It was just, hey...
Rag started, the Rag Wars, by the way, when he coined Ragnaros. Just to give you a frame of reference of how tense it's been for the past few minutes or so, RDU is going to start off on the coin. Theude does have Innervate, and remember, this is a slow ramp druid.
My greeting.
But at this stage, I'm just ready to watch. I'm not sure about predictions. I'm not sure really about analysis, honestly. I just kind of want to watch some good Hearthstone. We've been seeing it here so far.
RDU's opening hand is not too exciting.
Yet. Just wait for it. He's going to get a Drake or a Mountain Giant. I'm feeling it.
Oh, look at how soon this Ragnaros could come out.
Turn 4? Turn 4 Ragnaros. And then you enable his double Molten Giants.
Is there a better way to win in this matchup? I'm making that don't call me out face.
Unfortunately, I can't really follow up with that, so I don't know. I don't know if there's a better follow-up there to win with a turn 4 Ragnaros.
He's really going to consider these options. Remember, turn 4 Ragnaros followed by turn 5 Faceless, by the way.
I wonder.
Oh my god.
That might be enough to do it.
Turn 4 Ragnaros, turn 5 Faceless.
I mean...
If that happens, I don't even know what to say, considering what we just watched in Handlock versus Handlock.
Let me ask you this. If someone offered you the option to always be able to play turn 4 Ragnaros and turn 5 Faceless for every game of Hearthstone you ever played, but you also had to do that every game of Hearthstone you ever played, would you do it? Oh, he's going to go for it.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
Yes! Señor del Fuego has hit the board, and Theude is going for it. This is awesome.
I greet
There is a way for RDU to deal with it. He has Leroy and Soulfire. In fact, he has 2 Soulfires.
Is that really how you want to deal with this right now, though?
He just tossed 2 Innervates.
He could just double Soulfire this as well, but that's 4 cards that are happening.
I wonder.
And these aren't just like regular, these are some pretty critical cards that you're discarding. Leroy could potentially hit the bin. Faceless could potentially hit the bin.
Oh, but what if it discards the other Soulfire?
Oh
no.
my gosh. Oh my goodness. This is going
Wow,
to be
this
insane.
is too real. No,
Wait,
he's not.
No, Faceless, what is going on?
No!
No!
Don't do this to me, Theude.
It's gotta be Faceless Theude.
Listen, I know we said some things we maybe not mean, we don't understand each other all the time, but bro, come on, do us a solid here. Just one time, my friend. You know what? He doesn't want to drag his opponent down to 6, and then have his opponent do something crazy.
No, put him at 6. Punish him, Ragnaros.
Burn him by fire, but cat form is a little bit safer here to do damage, guaranteed. That way he's not overshooting. RDU is in dire straits, but maybe a Faceless and Soulfire can bring him back in here. Mountain Giant off the top, Faceless Manipulator, and this will come down to another really important coin flip. Because check this out, if it misses and it hits the face, Theude can Faceless his own Rag, and now he has a 50-50 to win.
Oh my gosh. This game is insane. Oh my gosh, if he discards the other Soulfire.
No! He doesn't!
Oh my gosh. And look at how many cards he just discarded. Those were important cards too. It goes to face, and now he's got Faceless Manipulator.
What is going on? This game is crazy. The other one started off so slow, and it escalated immensely fast, and now all of a sudden we start off this game where by turn 6, there's been 3 Ragnaros is going to be played. I don't even know how this happened.
Yes.
Needs a top deck Siphon Soul here if he
Ragnaros.
needs to survive.
Punish him, Ragnaros. This game is awesome. I just want to see everyone play Ragnaros every turn, every game.
This is the equivalent of a monster truck derby in Hearthstone. God, there's just been smashing, destruction, explosions. Michael Bay has his fingerprints all over it. If Transformers was directed by Michael Bay, I mean, this is exactly what it would be reincarnated right here.
Oh, this
Bring it down
Ragnar's
to
hit
2.
so crucial.
Oh, it hit
Wow!
the face.
And he's got Drew into the claw too. And RDU lost his taunts. He doesn't have a way to taunt up right now.
He's got Sludge Belcher. He's got Sludge Belcher, and he's got it's a giant. He needs it to hit Ragnaros or something, and he does. He wins the 1/3 chance. I don't even know what's going on. Theude throws his head back in frustration because all the fans do that collectively in a big sigh. This has taken a turn for the worse because he is now facing a lot of damage, and a Siphon Soul off the top for RDU would be so devastating. I cannot believe he's able to pull himself out of the situation.
Mortal Coil, Mountain Giant crashes in. Belcher's going to take out the 4-2. Oh my gosh. This game is insane right now. RDU can no longer life tap. And if this Sludge Belcher gets taken out, there's a charge minion waiting for him. Swipe would end the game. Keeper would end the game. There's so much to end the game here.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to think how much damage RDU can also push out here. If he draws Siphon Soul and he puts out 16, 19 damage, no. Still not enough. So much restraint and ipso facto going through the mind of Theude. He really wants to make this work. I don't know what's gonna be.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Siphon Soul off the top for RDU! Are you kidding me? That was the one card he needed! That was the card!
Oh.
This is crazy!
Gosh.
Wait, how much health is RDU at? He's at 5 health, so Swipe is no longer lethal. Keeper the Grove is no longer lethal! Oh, he draws a Swipe! I don't believe it! He was just one card off the sequence to end the game, and RDU looks like he should be the one advancing and winning the grand finals. I don't believe it!
This is unbelievable. I cannot... my mind is exploding.
How did he do it? This is crazy. It started off with the turn 4 Ragnaros, followed by faces. By turn 6, we had 3 Ragnaroses in play.
Except for the guy who's making the head explosion motion with the fireworks going off in the transparent grounds, like the foreground and background. That's like what's happening to me right now. This game is insanity.
This is where I think the emote that says "not quite what was planned" has never been more fitting for Theude. And it looks like RDU is in a prime position to end this game because he has Leroy to burst through whatever taunt comes his way.
Truth is my shield.
And you know what? Hats off to this kid. He's been playing out of his mind.
Well played.
Because the Mortal Coil can shatter the shield, the Leroy can push through, and we have ourselves a grand champion of the HyperX Invitational all the way from the losers bracket once again, proving all the doubters and haters wrong. RDU will be the HyperX Invitational winner. Congratulations. Winning 2 best of 5s.
Unbelievable series from RDU. I mean, at the end, this is like the moment that you wait for, too. You get to the finals, and you have a huge top deck that wins you the game. That's just what a way to finish